Hey guys, I was cleaning my airbrushes today and had this spur of the moment kind of idea that I would do a rig rundown type of video where I would show you guys some of the stuff that I have for my airbrushing. And well, I get this question quite periodically anyways, so well, figured I would get this done and over with so that I can show people that are gonna ask me in the future what sort of stuff I use. Well, first of all, I have a I-Want Highline. This is the CH model, made in Japan. Basically, it has a MAC valve. The more higher end Micron model also has this feature. What it does, it basically is it allows you to control the amount of air that is coming through the airbrush. So that can be very useful if you're doing some sort of detailed work. Gives you much more options to have more control, basically. And speaking of control, this little thing back here is very useful. It's a trigger stop, and I guess most of the mid-range to high-end models have this feature on them, and I find this to be very useful if you are doing some sort of detailed work like fins or painting scales or something like that. Comes very handy. And I guess I've had this for, well, I guess 3 years or maybe a little bit more than that even. Yeah, it has served me well throughout the years. Just have to do a little bit of maintenance to these airbrushes once in a while. Oh yeah, the needle size that I have on this particular model is the 0.2 millimeter. You can also get this in 0.3 millimeter model. If I'm not mistaken, the cup size on this is 9 milliliters, which is basically the reason why I actually got this. It's quite useful to have a cup size that is large like this, especially if you're doing a lot of baits at the same time. So there's that. Okay, the other airbrush that I use is the Harden & Steenbeck Infinity CR Plus. This is the chrome plated model, and it has Teflon plated washers, and but the O-rings are actually some sort of rubber, so you have to take these out if you want to give your airbrush a acetone bath. And basically the Teflon plating actually allows you to paint with solvent based paints. Oh, by the way, my Highline also has the Teflon plated washers, and this thing doesn't have any kind of air control or air pressure control, rather, but it has this trigger control which allows you to have presets, which I guess it could be useful for some people, but personally, I don't know, I really don't pay attention to that much, but it's a nice thing to have, I guess. Also, it's much more faster to disengage and have the full control compared to the Highline, which you have to unscrew the screw that is on the back side here. This is the 0.15 millimeter needle model, and I guess it goes up to 0.4 millimeters if I'm not mistaken. But if I am, don't hold it against me. Also, there's a difference in the cup as well. You can take this thing out and use a bigger size, or actually not use it at all if you actually want to paint with very little amount of paint at a time. And what else? If I would compare these two airbrushes together, I would definitely say that the Iwana is definitely built to last. It is much heavier. The construction feels much more solid compared to the Harden and Steenbeck, but of course this thing is much more expensive compared to the Harden and Steenbeck. There's like €100 difference between these two, and well, I'm not really sure if the price is actually justifiable, but I would say that you definitely would have much more of a harder time to actually break this Iwata compared to the Infinity. Not that I think that this would actually break or anything like that, but it feels a little bit more, I don't want to say flimsy or anything like that, but there is definitely a difference between the build quality. It comes down to personal preference, really. So, well, basically I just use this for much more finer details. So I don't really get to use this that oftenly. I mostly use my Iwata for most of my painting. But yet still, both of these are excellent airbrushes. So you can't really go wrong either one of these. So I'm gonna show you guys my compressor next. Okay guys, so this is my compressor. It's a Hansa AeroPro HTC 20A, if I remember the model number correctly. It has a suction capability of 17 liters. It can do 6 bars or 87 psi. It has a 1.5 liter tank, which is located here, and of course moisture trap, which is basically a standard thing nowadays on even hobby compressors like this. It weighs 18 kilos, which is actually not that heavy, I don't think, and it basically has a rotary compressor which is oil cooled, which of course makes this thing extremely quiet, which I'm gonna demonstrate to you guys now. Let me just fire this thing up. The camera is around 50 centimeters away from the compressor, so as you guys can hear, it's not making that much noise. So I usually have this thing on 4 bars, and once the tank is filled, the compressor will shut automatically off, like so. And let me just show you guys how long it actually takes to drain the tank. So it takes quite a long time until you actually have to fire up the tank again, or the compressor has to fire up the compressor itself, which definitely adds more life expectancy to this thing. I've had it for, I'd say, maybe a little over a year now. I think I actually got it at the same time as I got my Infinity airbrush. And I can't really think of anything bad to say about this. Well, other than it's oil cooled one. I don't know if that's a bad point, but at least it's sort of like a sacrifice, because I haven't actually heard any of the piston piston compressors, I think they're called, yeah. They're quite loud, in my opinion. So I've been using this for a year now, and I'm very happy with this so far. So next I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the paint collection that I have, and yeah, this should be over by then. Okay guys, so this is my very disorganized paint box where I keep all of my paints. Probably might be a good idea to do some sort of rack for these, but you know, no time, too much effort, yada yada yada. Well, basically there's like two different types of paints on my CAB paint line, which is a Finnish company, and as far as I know they're only sold in Finland right now, but of course that might change in the future. There's basically two different kinds of colors. The coat version that I'm holding right now is a opaque color, and then there's let me see, oh yes, this is the color version, which basically means that these are transparent colors, and every single one of these colors are solvent based, so you have to use some sort of solvent to actually dilute these things. And I prefer to use acetone, but of course there's this other solvent called solvent number 8, which basically I believe has toluene and xylene. I'm not really sure if I'm actually pronouncing those correctly, but yeah, it's basically like an odorless solvent. And yeah, been using these colors for, I'd say, 4 years, 5 years, around that time, I think. It's sometimes very hard to remember when you actually started to use something, but basically around the time when I actually started painting more regularly and became more serious about my hobby. And yeah, this is basically all the stuff that I use for my painting, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to try and answer them to you guys in the comments section. So see you guys next time.